again, fans, and welcome to this edition of our WL Adrenaline. As always, I'm Wally Cardle, here with my broadcast co-pilot, Mike Lane, and man, tonight's lineup on Adrenaline is almost certainly going to grab your attention. We certainly do at least hope so.
I wouldn't worry too much, Wally. A card like we got tonight, the fans will definitely want to see, so let's not keep them waiting too long.
Sounds like a plan, Mike. Starting off tonight's card, tag team competition, with Team Splendid going up against longtime RWL stalwarts, the Vandal Brothers. And to ringside we go.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 360 pounds, the Team.
From left to right, Sensational Fabulous and Simply Splendid Bobby C, and Team Splendid's rather captivating RWL fans since their arrival last year. But so far, advancement of the ladder in the tag team division has eluded them, despite the fact that these two guys' skills in ring are not to be taken lightly.
Which is why they signed this match with the Vandal Brothers. Bobby and Fabio felt that standing up to a team that's been around at least 10 years, former tag champions, just to show that Team Splendid's got what it takes to hang with the big boys, which may not be a genius move, but you gotta admire their courage.
I take it you don't like Team Splendid's odds tonight then?
Never said that, Wally. All I said was, challenging the Vandal Brothers takes guts, and Bobby and Fabio got 'em.
And their opponents, accompanied by TSF, at a combined weight of 560 pounds, the Brotherhood.
Almost 600 pounds of me, Wanton J and Big Ace Vandal, plus an extra 140 pounds of their manager, that was Kid, MJ Ferrantino, who bought out the Vandals' contracts from their former manager, Boyd Bradford, in 2021, and also manages the Texan Ladies Association. Carly, Parrish, and Jody Holland. This kid Ferrantino is far from done making moves, and 2023 is just a few weeks old. Who can say what stars this guy will hitch his wagon to for 20%?
Young Mister, Ferrantino got himself a bargain at that Bradford Exchange fire sale, and the two former television tag champs have been keeping young Ferrantino in the eye of other competitors. But to return to the matter at hand, the Vandals are going to prove a serious test case for Team Splendid. Okay, Fabulous and Wanton J starting off, and Jay shoves Fabi down to the mat. Serious show of force. Fabulous counters, charges, and Jay with the deft delays steps out of his path, but Fabi slips behind Jay Vandal, trying to set up an attack, but Jay just as fast counters Fabi as well. And here's the first strike. Jay lands an atomic drop. With Fabi on the mat, Jay moves him, starts cranking the head and neck of Fabulous as the Vandal Brothers begin seizing control of the match, and quickly throws Fabi back down again. Jay now slowly gathering up Fabi, and he delivers a textbook scoop slam. Wanton Jay Vandal dragging Fabi center ring, going for a pin, but it's just way too early, and Sensational Fabulous powers out from the pin with ease.
Yeah, Jay's just playing mind games with Fabulous. The Vandal Brothers are old hands at that kind of ring intimidation.
Jay Vandal goes for a double axe handle and misses, and out of no place, Fabi strikes with a jumping clothesline, and Jay getting back to his feet as sensational Fabiolas tries to get the situation back on his side. He's got Jay seated on the canvas as Fabi locks in a shoulder claw, working on the trapezius muscle of Jay Vandal. But hang on a minute, Jay back to his feet again, trying to disengage Fabi's grip. And there it is, he finally gets looped. Fabi with a running knee staggers Jay. Fabi follows up with another clothesline, and Jay Vandal's in a spot, with Fabi hauling off with rapid-fire kicks to the midsection.
Jay Vandal crumples to the mat. And how about this? Fabiolas going to try a pin here. But forget about it. It's just a 1 count. And Jay is nowhere near done enough for that.
Sensational Fabiolas got Jay, sets him up. Reverse Russian leg sweep. And the Vandals manager MJ Ferrantino looking a bit concerned for wanton Jay Vandal at the moment. Jay gets Fabi back on the mat and misses with the kick. Fabiolas moves in quickly and lands a beautiful inverted spinning neck breaker. With Wanton Jay down, Fabi wisely heading for his corner, makes the tag, and here's splendid Bobby C. The splendid one moves in on Jay Vandal, but Vandal totally ready for him, and strikes with the Russian leg sweep, slamming Bobby C head first into the mat. Again, Jay almost at once moving in for a pin attempt, but Bobby C still far too fresh to even gain a 1 count. Wanton Jay sets Bobby up, and there's another Russian leg sweep. And Ferrantino looking a little more confident as Jay asserts control again. Jay whips Bobby C into the Vandal's corner, and here's the first tag as Big Ace Vandal gets his first chance in this match. As the Vandals hit a double facebuster on Bobby C, Ace tries for a pin, but Bobby C powers out fast as Ace Vandal, moving in on Bobby very methodically, taking his time about things.
Ace is gonna set him up again.
Bobby C slaps Ace's hand away, and Osuki, Ace didn't like that a bit, as he picks up Bobby C, calmly just carrying Bobby across the ring, drives Bobby into the corner, and tosses him across the ring. The sheer power of the Vandal brothers at work.
That's been a Vandal Brothers hallmark for 10 years. Even under Boyd Bradford back in the day, the Vandals live up to their name. They destroy stuff.
Up to this point, it's been a whole lot of back and forth, but up to now, neither team has really been able to maintain control of the match without their opponent striking back solidly. And you know what happens if this pace continues, Mike.
Yeah, these two teams really are giving it their all, aren't they? After a while, they'll just start to slow down, get worn down, and this match will come down to one guy making the mistake that costs his team this match. But big props to Team Splendid, because they're keeping up with the Vandals. And I'm sure Jay, Ace, and Ferrantino have all taken notice.
Splendid Bobby C in the corner, and Yao delivers a stomp to the chest that puts Bobby C on the canvas yet again, and now gathering Bobby C to his feet again, and Bobby starting to show signs of fatigue already as Jay executes a harsh neck breaker. Bobby C is down as Jay steps out and tags in Big Ace Vandal. Ace moving in, but Bobby C quickly to his corner with the tag. And here comes sensational Fabiolas. But Ace Vandal grabs a quick hold, whips Fabi into the Vandal's corner, tags Fabi with a right hand. But Fabi quickly turns it around on Ace. But hold on, Wanton Jay abruptly tagging himself back into the match. Jay with an elbow to the face, follows up with the inverted atomic drop. And Ace, seizing the advantage of the 5 count, hits a crossbody off the ropes as a parting shot before Wanton Jay takes over again.
Young tag teams could take a lesson from the Vandals, cause these two tag early and tag often, always keeping the freshest guy in as the legal man. Frequent tags, frequent pin attempts, and that always gives your team a better chance for the win.
Well, Mike, this seesaw battle continues as Jay scores with a kick between the shoulders on Fabi, but Fabiolas back up in hokey smokes. It's a clothesline that sends Jay Vandal out of the ring and onto the arena floor. Jay Vandal trying to gather himself, Fabi playing it up for the fans, with the refs count at 2, and sensational Fabiolas following Wanton Jay out onto the floor.
Now, here's where Team Splendid is taking a calculated risk, playing with the Vandals outside their ring. Jay and Ace are pros at doing damage to their opponents while the referee is forced to count, knowing full well he won't stop counting and can do just it to get them back inside until they're ready to.
Referee Anthony Corallo now at a count of 5 as Jay Vandal gets back up, with Fabi closing in on him. Jay and Fabi in the tie-up. but Jay shuts him down with a hard shove back to the floor. Now Jay Vandal's tossing Fabi back into the ring, and it might be lucky for Fabiolas that Jay didn't decide to stay outside longer. Fabi tags out quickly, and in comes splendid Bobby C with a hard knee, dropping Jay back to the mat. Bobby with a little showboat action for the fans, but look the heck out here, Big Asen off the quick tag. But here comes the splendid one, and he is fired up. Here goes Bobby off the ropes, and oh man, that heel kick, Jay Vandal didn't get all of it. And now, it's a long, rough exchange of blows, moves and counters, with both opponents just looking determined to get and keep momentum in their favor. Currently, it's splendid Bobby C's party, with Ace Vandal down on the mat. The splendid one gathers Ace up, and look at this right here, reverse Russian leg basebuster. Bobby C moving with a purpose after that move, trying to follow up with something more and keep Ace Vandal from a tag or an advantage. And Heidi ho. A beautiful spinning slam by Bobby C, and that might have been enough for a pin. Goes for the cover, hooks the leg. 1, 2. But no use on that one, as Ace Vandal powers out of the pin.
And get a look at Bobby C. He don't believe it. He swore he'd done enough to keep Ace down for a 3 count, but it just wasn't there.
No, not even close. But now Bobby C looking a little frustrated with things, with he and Ace Vandal perched up on the top rope as he prepares to land that top rope superplex to the ring floor some 10 feet below. And oh man, Ace Vandal explodes onto the floor with bone-shattering force.
That could open this matchup for Team Splendid, but Bobby C's got to get Ace Vandal back into the ring and nail him with just one more big move. It might be the best time to point it out, and so I will. You've got to give credit to Team Splendid, who have by no means pulled it to the Vandal brothers as easily as many before them have. Lots of fans were expecting Jay and Ace to make short work of these opponents, but Bobby C and Fabiolas have proven so far they can hang with the big boys.
All right, with Bobby on the outside, and the refs count at 7, Ace Vandal is heading back outside after the Splendid one, and so, possible edge in this match for Team Splendid looks to be going bye-bye in a rip of a hurry.
What we said earlier in the match hasn't changed. Playing around with the Vandals outside the ring is gonna play bad for Team Splendid in the long run, and with this 1/3 over already, the long run is right now.
Ace Vandal, with just tremendous force, shoves splendid Bobby C across the arena floor.
I'm gonna take it as a really bad sign that Bobby C's sure taking his time getting back up. That can't be good.
And Ace, just relentless here, set to go after Bobby and probably do some more damage if he can. Bobby C driven into the steel steps by Ace Vandal, and I've gotta say, this one has degenerated into a brawl on the outside, with neither one of these two either willing or even able to respond by getting it back between the ropes. And Mike, times a waste in here.
It's all on Ace Vandal now. Bobby C's running on empty here, and it's up to Ace to get him back in the ring and try to put this one to bed, because we're getting pretty close to a double count out if he doesn't.
Ace with a fireman's carry takedown of Bobby C on that arena floor, with zero give to it. Bobby C's in low land, as Ace drives him across the floor and into the steel barricades. And how do you like this? Ace Vandal just taking his sweet time on. The Splendid one. We are getting closer by the second to this match ending with no clear victor.
And there it is. This one's done. No winners. Double count out. No one goes home happy, and we'll be back with more action right after this.
Fans, we are back, and up next, Ladies Division action, with the sadistic Grace Fenwick of the United Kingdoms taking on Ladies Tag Trio Champion, Team Nuclear's patriotic Pam Parsons.
The following contest is set for one fall, with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Sussex, England, representing the United Kingdoms, Grace Fenwick.
She's Niles Wickheiser's valet, but recently has started competing in matches herself, both in singles competition and in tag team partnership with Ballarat Jack's valet, Bailey Goldman. And while she always enjoys watching Wickheiser's hurt his opponents, Grace Fenwick is out to inflict a little pain of her own on Pam Parsons.
Flat out. She lacks experience. Compared to patriotic Pam Parsons, she lacks heaps of experience. Fenwick here could still win, but she'll do it fighting dirty and spitting on the rule book. It's the only way I see her beating Parsons.
Her opponent, from Huntington Beach, California, she's 1/3 of the RWL Ladies Tag Trio Champions, Patriotic Pam Parsons.
3P, the 4th of July firecracker, patriotic Pam Parsons, and while she and her co-title holders Susie Campbell and Jessica Cooper will be putting the tag trio titles on the line at the next Supercard on January 30th. Tonight, Pam Parsons has to deal with Grace Fenwick on her own.
Never ever before Wally have I ever so appreciated the true beauty of John Philip Hughes' Thunder March.
She does have a way of making her entrance music that much more entertaining, but it's Pam's skills and not her looks that will get her past Grace Fenwick.
Doesn't she just make you want to stand up and salute?
Too late, Mike. She already has.
Not what I meant, but I get you. Still, this one should be really good. Keen to see how these two handle one another in that ring.
We're off as both ladies meet center ring. Grace Fenwick with a right hand follows it up into, wow, impressive wheelbarrow jaw jacker, and Pam Parsons falls to the mat. Now, Fenwick taking her time about things. Tags Parsons with another right that spins Parsons around, and Fenwick quickly follows up again, belly to back suplex. She's coming off the ropes. Here she comes, but Pam Parsons with a swift counter take her Grace Fenwick to the mat, and now it's patriotic Pam with the edge, and she's stirring up the crowd here. And they're backing Pam up, and Parsons delivers a stomp to Fenwick's abdominal region. Parsons with Fenwick up again, but Fenwick quick with the counter, whips Parsons into the corner, and Grace Fenwick moves into attack quickly with a shot to Pam's lower back. Now Grace Fenwick quickly up on that second rope, and rocks Parsons with a DDT off the second turnbuckle, and patriotic Pam Parsons is in some pretty serious trouble in the early moments of this encounter.
This could be a long night for Pam, cause Grace Fenwick thinks of herself as some kind of craftsperson when it comes to handing out damage. She enjoys hurting her opponent nearly as much as she enjoys watching Niles Wickheiser hurt his. Serious mean streak on that woman.
Grace exploiting that last Hurricanana DDT off the ropes moments ago, and here she goes, she's gonna hit that move again. But no. Parsons with a leg trip takes Fenwick down again. Now it's all Pam Parsons kicking and stomping away at Fenwick, trying to pick her apart bit by bit here, and Pam Parsons with the situation well in hand at present, gathers her up again, and here we go. Parsons setting up for the vertical suplex. And what goes up must come down, and man, does Grace Fenwick ever hit that canvas hard.
Pam's doing great here, but she's gotta keep Grace guessing. She's setting up for a little aerial attack, comes off the second rope, drives a knee into Grace's midsection. Boy, what an impact.
Grace Fenwick is out to lunch, and Pam Parsons drags her center ring. Fenwick is motionless as Parsons goes for the cover. One count only. Grace Fenwick powering out pretty quickly, and this one's gonna continue. Parsons traps Fenwick in a head scissor, follows up with hard right hand shots to the head, trying to scramble Fenwick's gray matter. Fenwick helpless as Parsons gets her on her feet again. Parsons has her up and drives her back into the corner and into an Oklahoma stampede, and Parsons really liked the results on that move. Pam getting Fenwick up again, but Fenwick with a fast counter backing her off fast. Fenwick charges, but Parsons with a quick fireman's carry ruins that attempt, and now again Pam in control, sets Fenwick up, and Dagham Arse Joel nails a snap DDT that has Grace Fenwick reeling.
Looks like America's sweetheart's got the bad Brit in a bad situation just now.
It sure does, Mike. Pam Parsons goes to pick Grace up, but sight. Fenwick plays a little possum here and takes Pam down with a running elbow. And now here again, Grace Fenwick with those humiliating mind games of hers, making Pam's already bad situation look insurmountable. Grace with a right hand, but she's failed to follow up here, and Parsons is looking to make her pay. Fenwick facing outward in the corner as Parsons lifting her up onto that top rope, and whatever Pam's cooking up won't be good for Fenwick. Now, Pam follows her on up onto the second rope and just brings Fenwick tumbling down with a belly-to-back suplex from uptown.
It seems like Pam's taken the wind out of Fenwick's sails with that last suplex. And looking through what's happened so far, Pam's had the lion's share of momentum in this one. Let's see if she can keep up the sustained attacks.
Parsons with another pin attempt, but fails to close the deal again with only a 1 count. Delivers a basement dropkick to the back of Fenwick's head as she crashes back to the canvas again, and the road really opening up wide here for Parsons, who's keeping the pressure on Fenwick as she gets her back. Up again, but Fenwick suddenly snapping back into focus, quickly rolling out of harm's way, and check this out, Fenwick with a surprise, striking again with that wheelbarrow jawbreaker, and in the blink of an eye here, Grace Fenwick has Parsons in a bad spot again. Parsons quickly gathers Fenwick up, but hang on a second here. Grace quickly getting herself out of a spot, but Parsons tries to regain control of things. Irish whip into the far corner. Here comes Parsons, but Fenwick counters again and catches Parsons with a gut-wrench suplex. And this ain't good. Parsons struggling to get back up, and Grace quickly back on top of things here and putting the boots to Parsons.
Pam gets herself out of that corner. And get a look at this. Pam Parsons with an impressive crucifix pin. But no good. Only at the count. But Pam's still got things under control in there.
Grace Fenwick slams Parsons face down onto the mat, and she's got Parsons stunned again as Fenwick makes her way to the corner, and Grace is moving on up to the high red district, and Fenwick's gotta fly with a frog splash that rocks Parsons to the core. Fenwick, smelling a win in the air, goes for the pin with a humiliating hand over Pam's face, and Pam Parsons just powering out after a deuce count. But has she got anything left to get her back into this match? Parsons countered with the Irish whip, and Parsons ends up in the corner with Grace Fenwick closing in on her, and it looks like Fenwick's getting ready to pull out all the stops with a high-impact move off the top rope, and Fenwick's ready to go, and man, oh man alive. Fenwick scores with a top rope Frankensteiner.
That was a damage dealer and a half, and it looks like Grace Fenwick not only has control again, but Pam Parsons might not completely recover enough from that Frankensteiner to will herself back into this thing. Oh man, harsh knee to the gut. Yeah, Parsons could be done here.
Things looking whole heaps of bad for Pam Parsons as Grace Fenwick readies the coup de grace, nailing Parsons with a devastating sending off the top. That looks like even Grace felt that won a bit. This could be the end right here. Grace has her wrapped up, here's the count. But oh man, I do not believe it. Parsons with a never-say-die attitude of hers just manages to fight her way free on it to count. And look at Grace Fenwick. She's not believing it either, and she is gonna be mighty mad about that one.
Pam's goose is cooked here. Wally.
Or maybe not. Mike. Parsons responding with a quick Irish whip counter, and Grace Fenwick is stuck in that far corner, with Parsons now attempting to set up another top rope disaster piece right here. And she could sure use a little magic right now to stop Grace before it's way too late. Pam's got Fenwick all the way up there. She's ready to fire it off in there. The double RG. The Rocket's red glare, and Pam's got Fenwick in a spot yet again. But is it gonna be enough, or will Grace snatch the advantage away from her again, even as Pam reaches out to grab it? Parsons nails Grace with a Death Valley driver, bringing Fenwick's head and shoulders crashing to the mat. Pam Parsons seems to feel she's got this one at long last, as Fenwick away from the ropes, shoulders down, leg hooked. 1, 2, 3. It's over, and patriotic Pam Parsons with a fine win over Grace Fenwick.
Time, 7 minutes and 46 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, patriotic Pam Parsons.
Well, despite the best efforts of Grace Fenwick, it's patriotic Pam Parsons who ends up getting the Duke in this one, managing to just about outwit and out-wrestle the sadistic Brit.
And I'm gonna have to take back what I said about Fenwick. She really showed us what she's got tonight as a singles competitor. Really showed off some pretty impressive moves. Grace Fenwick might not be a headline now, but in another year or two, who can say?
As you said at the outset, experience was a major factor for Parsons in this win. And man, did she shine tonight. I'm sure her team Nuclear Tag Partners are watching from the back, and they've just got to be so proud of their teammate after this performance. Fans, still a lot more to come, including superstar Billy Graham, Scott Steiner, and a whole lot more when we return with more RWL Adrenaline. So don't go very far away.
Monday night, January 30th, 2023. RWL presents the first Supercard of the year. The biggest stars in 12 exciting matches. We hope you'll join us on the night as we bring you RWL's first of 12 Supercard, available on January 30th.
We're back with more RWL Adrenaline, and up next, it's Alex Gonzalez going up against Sergeant Slaughter.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from San Juan, Puerto Rico, weighing in at 241 pounds, Alex Gonzalez.
Last time we saw Alex Gonzalez, he was partnered with John Bob Kennedy in tag competition. But tonight, it's just Gonzalez alone against the Sarge and Mike. Sergeant Slaughter not without some controversy swirling around his tensions with the manager of Karen Sturgeon, the masked Mix-X.
Yeah. Sarge insists this Mix-X is a former RWL star he drove out of the company in a loser leaves forever match. Now, I went back into the archives, combed the record books, and guess what old Mr. Lane found out?
So, what do you say? Is Slaughter onto something?
Without giving the secret away, I will say it was less than a year ago, and there was, in fact, a banishment match.
Against who, Mike? Who was it?
In a minute. Stand up and salute Wally. Come on.
And his opponent from South Carolina, weighing in at 302 pounds, Sergeant.
Really, Mike? You can't hold out on the fans. If you know something, why won't you give?
Now I've already said, there was a banishment match last year, and since Sarge is standing right there, you can safely assume the Sarge won it. As far as who Mix-X really is, well, Sarge also found out I was researching this stuff, and he told me if I go public with this before he exposes Mix-X, it would cost me. Sorry, folks, but Sergeant Slaughter wants to be proven right here, so it's not for me to say any more than I already have.
So, I guess the fact that Sarge did banish someone from the company is all we have to go on for now.
Sorry, but I like my nose right where it is.
It's game on. Gonzalez tags Sarge with a right, but Sarge quick with the fireman's carry, and Alex Gonzalez pushing back on the Sarge with some aggressive tactics. He drives Sarge back, moves in himself, sets up for a suplex. But Sarge slips out of his grip and nails him a hard neck-breaker drop. Seriously loud impact, which will cost Alex a few brain cells. And now, it's Gonzalez with a fireman's carry of his own. Again, Alex Gonzalez, extremely aggressive in the early goings here.
Early is right, but there's a lot more left on the clock, and now Sarge looks like he's slowed Mr. Aggressive Tactics down just a little. Sergeant Slaughter's been in a pretty bad mood lately, and Alex Gonzalez is in there with a guy who's willing to take out his aggressions on whoever.
Slaughter stopping to salute the fans and quickly turning his attention back to Gonzalez. Nails him with a running clotheslines. Sarge misses with a kick. Gonzalez quick with the go behind, but Sarge onto him with a counter. And now, Slaughter whips Gonzalez hard into the corner and strikes again with that clothesline. And down goes Gonzalez. Sarge, with full control of things now, delivers a painful knee to the gut. Sergeant Slaughter's got Gonzalez laid out with that last move, drags Gonzalez center ring and goes for the pin. Only a near fall as Gonzalez tries to shake the cobwebs loose, but Sarge back on the attack with a short kick between between the shoulder blade.
You know, if you've got the abilities to fight a guy like the Sarge on his level, you're doing pretty good as a professional wrestler. But no disrespect, Gonzalez isn't in the Sarge's league on that level.
Slaughter proves your point with an arm drag counter, quickly stopping Gonzalez in his tracks, and the Sarge now just leading Gonzalez where he wants, and Slaughter just imposing his will on his opponent. As Gonzalez collapses to the mat again, and Sarge not letting up on the floor-bound Gonzalez and drops an elbow into his chest.
Might take a moment or six before Gonzalez regains any use of his limbs after that one.
Slaughter just all over Gonzalez like ugly on a sea cow. Gonzalez still on the canvas as Sarge gets set to gather him up. And out of no place, Gonzalez countering with a quick chop block as Gonzalez tries to regain control of things, whips Sarge into the ropes. And oh man, that plan went south in a hurry with Sarge unfazed. Grabs Gonzalez, and Sarge bending the rules with an eye gouge, almost daring referee Tom Kanemura to call him on it.
Wow! The fans here in Cleveland threatening to blow the roof off his place. They are 100% behind Slaughter here. And Slaughter's really starting to dial up his aggression against Gonzalez. Definitely not overly concerned about bending the rules here, as he continues to pour it on.
Sarge stops to breathe a second, but Alex Gonzalez back on his feet. Takes a swing, but Sarge with the block and a hurl to the chest. And Sarge gathers him up again for a rib breaker. And get a look at this, Gonzalez is just out of it, as Sergeant Slaughter continues to take Gonzalez apart piece by piece.
Sarge has really been just extra irritated over this business with Mixex. If it were me on the active roster, I wouldn't sign a match with Slaughter until after he's dealt with his issues. Sarge can be a devil when he's keyed up like this.
Alex Gonzalez just barely escaping the Boston Crab, and now it's Gonzalez back on the attack, drives a knee into Sarge's back, picks him back up, but Sarge takes him back down with a shoulder check, and man, oh man alive, Gonzalez struggles to stand, and Sergeant Slaughter standing by. Sarge locks in the Cobra clutch on Gonzalez. Gonzalez with nowhere to go, Slaughter takes him down to the mat. As the referee checks, and tap out. Tap out. That's all. This one's in the books, and Sergeant Slaughter wins by submission.
Here is your winner, Sergeant.
Let's give Alex Gonzalez full marks for a match well fought. But in the end, Sarge had him outmatched, outgunned, out everything, pretty much. Sergeant Slaughter just way too aggressive for Gonzalez to withstand it for very long.
And this capacity crowd really letting Sergeant Slaughter know he has his fans behind him. And you just better believe Sarge wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh, look who's here, Wally. It's not the good humor man.
It's Mixex, who we haven't seen since the mixed tag match with Karen Sturgeon against the Cobra Corps a few weeks back. But this is gonna lead to trouble.
I don't know that this dim bulk forgot that Sarge sent him to the hospital last month. Like Kevin Hart says, he's gonna learn today.
Mixex has Sarge down, and Mixex looks determined to try and put a hurting on the Sarge this time. For weeks now, tensions between Sergeant Slaughter and Mixex have been approaching the boiling point, and this post-match sneak attack by Mixex isn't likely to improve things at all.
Look at Sarge go, firing off rapid-fire shots to the gut of Mixex, trying to rearrange some internal organs here, just vicious.
Referee Tom Kanemura, looking on tentatively, not wanting to chance angering Slaughter any further. And oh, man, Sergeant Slaughter again with repeated shots to the lower abdominals of Mixex. And Sarge looks as if he's going to re-injure Mixex yet again.
He shouldn't have come out here. He knew this job was dangerous when he took it, but he's sure paying for it now.
Mixex is paying a hefty premium for stepping out here to try and sneak attack Sergeant Slaughter, as the Sarge had just said the hell with everything, and Sarge is just taking all the fight out of Mixex. And what can anyone say? This match had been between Sarge and Alex Gonzalez, and Mixex had zero business even stepping out here, and it sure looks to me like Slaughter is going to go out of his way to discourage Mixex from ever making such a foolhardy mistake again.
The ref can ring that bell all he wants, but this isn't gonna end until Sarge says so, and he's still not saying so. This was a big, big mistake, and Mixex is seriously paying for it. If you thought old Sarge was mad during the match, you can double how mad he is right now. Look at him. Mix-X is trying to hit him with all he's got, and it still ain't enough. There's gonna
Just
be
now,
no
Mix-X
stopping
has Sarge on
Slaughter
the
now.
defensive and gets ready to unload with some heavy-duty attack. Slaughter up on the shoulders, but Slaughter powering out with a withering series of elbows that forces Mix-X to release the hold. As Sarge gets a grip on X, delivers an eye gouge, but Mix-X, not giving up, nails Sarge with a jaw-jacker that drops into the mat. And now it's Mix-X who looks to be dictating the pace of events. Sarge is back up, punches Mix-X in the gut again, and this is brutal. Sarge strikes with those good punches again, and whoa! Mix-X hurt badly by the look of things, as referee Tom Kanemura demanding that Slaughter backs off immediately.
We're being signaled to go to a break. Fans, we're sorry, but we'll be back in a moment.
Time now for tonight's main event, and it's a historic rematch for the ages, as Ricky the Dragon Steamboat goes one-on-one with the RWL King of Legends champ, Nature Boy Ric Flair.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, representing the team from Honolulu, Hawaii, weighing in at 230 pounds, Ricky the Dragon C.
If you know wrestling history, then you already know the rivalry that exists between Rick Steamboat and the Nature Boy. They've battled many times all over the world, including a number of history-making battles over the years, and tonight, these two heated rivals will face each other again right here on Adrenaline.
It's also worth pointing out that some of those past matches have been among some of the greatest ever, according to wrestling historians. Yeah, seems like magic just happens when these two are in the same ring.
And his opponent, representing the family from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing in at 279 pounds, the prestigious Pro Wrestling Heritage Champion.
When it comes to true icons in this business, you can't have the conversation without including Ric Flair, multi-time world champ, Hall of Fame, and incidentally, the RWL King of Legends champion. And even though this main event isn't for the title, it doesn't mean these two opponents won't fight as if it were.
Wally, truer words were never spoken. This is a match that could, and has, sold out arenas all over the planet.
The Nature Boy, the master showman, giving the fans what they came to see, with a little styling and profiling. Nobody does it like Ric Flair. There's your bell. Both men lock up. Flair opens up with a kick to the gut, and Nature Boy immediately starting out aggressive, raining blows on Steamboat, and Ric Flair is all over the Dragon, striking almost at will, and follows up with a neckbreaker drop.
Boy, you get the sense right away. Flair is looking to wrap this one up quick. He sure has gotten in some heavy attacks right away.
And Flair continues the onslaught with a knee drop off the top rope, and with Steamboat in trouble, Flair goes for a fast cover, hoping for a quick pin, but Ricky Steamboat still way too fresh for that, as he escapes the 2-count pin. But hang tight here, Steamboat with a block, and now the two opponents battling back and forth for control, as Steamboat ends this exchange with a kick to the midsection on Flair, and follows up with a well-executed standing moonsault.
And just like that, Steamboat takes control of his match, with Flair on the canvas. Steamboat pulls Flair back to his feet. Where's this going? Hard whipped into the far corner for Flair, and here comes the Dragon, setting up for something big right here.
Impressive wheelbarrow bulldog off the top rope. What a move by Steamboat. Now getting Flair back on his feet. And get a look at this, will ya? Just a beautiful spinning neck breaker from the Dragon as Ricky Steamboat covers Flair. But Flair took close to the ropes as the official calls for the break.
When it comes to momentum in this one, it looks like it's gonna be all or nothing with these two. When either one gets control, they look to be hanging on to it a while.
Very true, Mike. Right now, it's all Ricky Steamboat, as Flair has been unable to strike back for some time. But here comes Nate with a shoulder tackle, dropping Steamboat to the mat again, as Ric Flair attempts to put out Steamboat's fire. And wow, Flair going for a pile driver early on and nails Steamboat with it. And that pile driver looks like it put the Dragon's lights out. And now, Nature Boy, reaching deep into his vast arsenal, is going for the figure for leg lock on the Dragon.
There's only a handful of guys that have really mastered that figure form. Guys like Flair and Greg Valentine, who can really hurt you with this move. Flair's got Steamboat in all kinds of pain, and the longer this goes on, the more damage is being done to Steamboat's legs.
Rick Steamboat just managing to escape the hold, and yes, it looks like some damage has been done by Flair, and to Flair himself, and here comes the Dragon, retaliating like a house on fire, but Ric Flair counters, stops the attack, and follows up with a neckbreaker drop. And it looks like that last stomp to the face of Steamboat has opened a cut, Steamboat bleeding, as Flair locks in an armbar, with Flair cranking that arm and shoulder. Now it's Nate, heading up top again from the far corner, ignoring referee Anthony Corallo's admonition, as Steamboat struggles to stand, and there goes Flair, landing a crossbody that puts Steamboat on the canvas again. Flair, quickly going for another pin attempt.
Neither man's been stingy with their intensity. This match has been high energy, high impact from the opening bell, and here he goes, nails Steamboat with an elbow.
Flair, maybe sensing this one is his to win, stalking the Dragon and biding his time, as Rick Steamboat again having none of it. Steamboat struggling to power out of this situation, and finally does. Nate back on Steamboat again, allowing no time for the Dragon to regain control of the match, but Steamboat tags Flair with hard right hands, forcing him to relinquish his hold. And Steamboat lands a wheelbarrow DDT, smashing Flair head against the mat. Follows up with a springboard moonsault off the ropes.
Steamboat has one major edge against Flair, and that's his speed. Look at how quick the Dragon is, landing one moonsault after another with just blinding speed.
And Steamboat has had Flair on the defensive for a while now, and Nate unable to counter the attacks. The Dragon sets Flair up again, and take a look at the Steamboat sails over Flair, and into a Michinoku driver that has Flair pinned. But no, just another near fall, as this one's still not done. But now it's the Dragon stalking Nate. Steamboat moves it, but Flair with the fast. Counter pushes Steamboat back. Flair misses with a low dropkick. Now Rick Steamboat catches Flair off guard with a Hurricane Rana, throwing Flair down hard as Steamboat gets Flair up again. And strikes again with that aerial Michinoku driver. And Flair's pinned, shoulders down as the ref counts the pin. And that's the match. And Ricky the Dragon Steamboat with a pinfall win on the Nature Boy.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
That match burned hot and fast, am I right? And what a big win for Ricky Steamboat over the King of Legends champ. Lucky thing for Ric Flair the belt wasn't on the line, or we'd be crowning a new champ right now.
All right, fans, that's it for this edition of our WL Adrenaline, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's card. Also, do keep in mind that our WL Star will be our next broadcast on Saturday the 28th, and the first of 12 Supercard is happening Monday night, January 30th, and we sure hope to see you then. For all of us at our WL, Wally Cardle saying thanks and good night.
And I'm Mike Lane thanking you for your time this time until next time. Good night, everybody.